The annual Crime Victims' Rights Day was held at the state capitol on Monday. It's an opportunity to honor victims and discuss legislation that can improve crime rates in Oklahoma. Jason Doyle joins us now from our OETA studio inside of the Capitol with more. Jason.
Rich, crime victims also are calling for their rights to be enforced and not to be forgotten while a criminal is going through the judicial system and serving time.
August 16th of 1982, I was the victim of violent crime.
That's former State Representative Terry Ingmeyer sharing his story at the annual Crime Victims Day at the Capitol. It's an event that he rarely misses.
I was elected in 96, my first session 97, and since 1997 I've only missed one of these ceremonies.
Ingmeyer feels it's important to share his story with others who may or may not have experienced a violent crime.
I never back away from telling my story because a lot of people, believe it or not, have never been a crime victim or their family members. None of their family members have been crime victims. So when I tell the story, I think it alerts them to the reality that, wow, we need to make sure that the victims of crime get help.
Just a word of caution, Terry Ingmeyer's story is harrowing.
Open up the door, I take a 20-gauge shotgun blast to the upper abdomen. I'm thinking, I'm in trouble. I know where my help is. I pushed the door, ran towards the bedroom. The second shot came through, and I didn't know I'd been hit the second time, blew my left wrist off. The only thing holding the hand on was some skin, 4 tendons, and 1 artery. I didn't even know I'd been shot.
The event also featured a poem written by Tanya Byers, who is a survivor of child sexual assault and lost her daughter and granddaughter to a negligent homicide caused by a car crash.
The title is called The Light We Carry. I remember when the world went quiet and the dark felt far too deep. I carried questions in my mind and promises I had to keep. In 2017, I lost my daughter and granddaughter to a negligent car crash, and I just continued to write. I have a lot of people tell me that I have a way of putting into words what they're thinking or feeling, and I feel that it was a gift. My writing is a gift, and I would be doing a disservice if I didn't share it for other victims and survivors.
Byers simply wants crime victims to know they are not alone.
If I can help one victim, one survivor with the words, then it's worth it.
The latest crime statistics show that an individual in Oklahoma is certainly not alone when it comes to falling victim to a violent crime. The FBI says Oklahoma's violent crime rate in 2024 topped out at 423 crimes per 100,000 people. That's nearly 18% higher than the national average at 359 violent crimes committed per 100,000 people. It places Oklahoma as the 13th highest for violent crime in the nation. That level of violent crime in Oklahoma means victims need services and advocacy for their rights.
Crime victims do have rights in Oklahoma, and in addition to that, their family members also have rights. If you're a victim of crime, then under the Oklahoma Crime Victims' Rights Act, there are specific rights that you have, and it's upon the law enforcement that may be taking an incident report on the worst day that you've probably ever had in your life. It's upon them to give you information about your rights.
Oklahoma voters approved Marsy's Law as a constitutional amendment in 2018. It provides that the rights of crime victims are on the same level as a suspect of a crime going through the criminal justice system.
It's important for people to understand that Marsy's Law is the start of a victims' rights movement when it comes to making sure that victims have enforceable rights that are actionable, that can carry over, no matter what the circumstances are.
Even before Marsy's Law, there were some services offered to crime victims. In fact, it helped Terry Ingmeyer as he was recovering from the gunshot wounds.
Through the Crime Victims Compensation Fund, I was able to be awarded help paying off what my insurance company didn't pay. While off from work, I didn't receive pay, so they allowed pay for lost wages.
Tanya Byers says the state has been improving when it comes to victims' rights.
I've been in the victim services. I've worked both professionally and then with my poetry, I've stayed involved. It has come a long way. As Terry Ingmeyer said, it's not, I don't think it'll ever be 100%, but Oklahoma has definitely come a long way than what it was that I saw several years ago.
The Crime Victims' Rights ceremony at the Capitol is part of the National Crime Victims' Rights Week observances here in Oklahoma, giving people a chance to reflect.
Especially at a time when we need to stop and reflect on the good work that's being done out there in the community, but also think through the ideas about work that still needs to be done and the progress that we've made and the progress we still need to make.
Moyer adds that crime victims should be made aware by law enforcement and district attorneys they have protected rights too. That starts with the first incident report through prosecution.
It's also important for every single state organization that works and has intersectionality with crime victims to understand they have a responsibility to make sure that the Victims' Rights Act is upheld.
This week, there were reminders like the special purple lighting of Oklahoma City's Skydance Bridge and the Myriad Gardens, keeping crime victims top of mind, something that Terry Ingmeyer appreciates.
It's been 44 years. It's something I think about every day, and it's something I try to pass along to the legislators, that crime victims, National Crime Victims Week means something. Crime Victims Day at the Capitol even means more.
At Monday's ceremony, 2 advocates were also recognized for their efforts to secure the rights of victims and to ensure they have the resources needed to recover.